So I think we're going to be getting another Switch. That's it for the video. No, I genuinely think that we are going to get another Switch. This is something that I've kind of not really talked about too much because I just felt like there's a lot of people that get annoyed with this topic. They're either like, oh, there's no way, there's a certain amount of years, blah, blah, because I've been saying this for a while now. I think we're going to get something where it's a successor, where it's like technically a sequel, but it's not. And maybe the games are kind of compatible and they will be for a while and then they won't. I just think that the way that gaming is now, I just don't think that they're going to make a whole nother console because Nintendo managed to nail it with the gimmick of the Switch. I don't know how they did it. I've always had faith in Nintendo. Like when the Wii U came out and it was doing bad, I didn't think that was it for Nintendo. But I was not expecting them to make something like the Switch where it ended up being more successful than the Wii. I mean, that's crazy to me. So I think that they're going to do something where it's a successor, but it's like not, I don't know. I still envision an upgraded dock. That's kind of what I think they'll do, but I don't know if the technology's there for that. Like, I don't know if that could actually work. I don't make those things. I have no idea. Someone could write in the comments right now that's physically impossible. I don't know. But I feel like the way they're going to handle it is that it's going to be some sort of like upgrade where it doesn't feel like a new console. Or like it may to us, but like I just don't see them making a whole new console with a whole new gimmick and being like, yep, here you go, because gaming's changed. The bit war is dead. There's no bit war anymore. Everything just looks amazing except for the Switch. So I think that's where, like, basically what I'm saying is that I don't see how, which again, I mean, they could surprise me. They did with the Switch. I didn't think it'd be that, I didn't think they'd make something that would be that successful. But what I'm saying is that with the Switch being so successful, I don't see them going, well, we'll make another gimmick, and hopefully it does the same or better than the Switch. I think they're going to have to make something where it's not a full-on, buy a whole new console, new gimmick, new name, new everything. I don't see that happening. I mean, maybe parts of that ends up happening. Maybe there is a different name. Honestly, I don't think so. I think it's going to be like the Ultra Switch or something. I mean, Nintendo is terrible at making names. I think the Switch is one of the first times where they really nailed it. So I feel like it'll probably be called something like the Ultra Switch, and it's going to be a sort of transition where it's kind of like a fail-safe transition where if it doesn't hit off, they just kind of stick with the Switch even longer. Or if it does hit off, then they slowly make it to where if you buy a game, you have to buy it on the new Switch because it won't run on the old Switch. That's what I think they're going to end up doing because I really just don't see them making a whole nother gimmick. I don't. Again, they could surprise us, but I don't see it happening. I mean, you look at Xbox and, well, yeah, let's just look at Xbox. Because PlayStation, they've been doing their own thing. They just keep making another succession of it, and it always works. But Xbox, I feel like, is in this weird spot where I felt like with Xbox, I honestly didn't even think they were going to make a new console. I feel like they've been transitioning to PC as a mega failsafe, where if there's a timeline where a new Xbox console doesn't really sell that well, they go, okay, well, we're just going to make this stuff for PC. So I feel like with Nintendo, they've always been on their own path, and I feel like they've always done very well. Well, the Wii U. But they've usually done very well. Like, okay, maybe they haven't always done very well, but they're on their own path and they're doing their own thing. But I feel like we're getting to a point where graphics are starting to come to play. The stuff on the Switch, I mean, there's certain stuff that looks amazing, but third party, forget it. Most third party, depending on what it is, either runs bad, looks bad, or both. Or it's lacking features. I remember I got Hot Wheels Unleashed, and you couldn't, I think it was that you couldn't join with your friends online on the Switch version. It was something like that. I actually got it refunded. I called Nintendo, and I was like, yeah, I mean, literally was missing a feature. So third party is not always the biggest deal when it comes to Nintendo, but it's a factor in that graphically and how it runs, it shouldn't be as bad as it is. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that probably don't care at all if something comes out on the Switch because they know they're just not going to bother. But when it comes to third party, problem is too is that some people buy the Switch for the portability. So then the whole, if it's not running well, I don't want to derail though. The main topic is a new Switch, which that would still come into play because, I mean, if they could prove that the stuff that's coming out on Switch could just run great and look great, I mean, that would be a big selling point too, actually. But I just play the Switch as a home console, so I don't always think about the portability, but obviously it's a huge factor. I don't think they're going to go the route of making a whole new console. I think even if it is a new console, I think it's just going to be a successor of the Switch. I really, really do. And I feel like that may be why some of the games that have been coming out have been kind of lackluster. I think maybe they're just kind of releasing stuff to keep it going and keeping it at that. I mean, obviously we have Tears of the Kingdom. That's a huge game. But Metroid Prime, still nothing, which that could be a totally different thing, but still don't have anything on that. We haven't had a new mainline Mario in forever. That rumored Donkey Kong game still at, which it's a rumor, but I'm starting to feel like some of this stuff is being held off because an Odyssey sequel, a Mario Odyssey sequel to me seems very obvious. I can't believe they haven't done it. They could use the same engine, just make a whole new game. The Mario Odyssey was successful. I feel like they're waiting. I feel like it is in the works, if not already done. Well, probably not already done, but I think they're waiting. I genuinely really feel like we're going to get a Switch successor. I don't see it being a whole new console. That's just my take, though. I could be way off, but just wanted to give my opinion. So let me know what you think about all this. Let me know if you think we're going to get a Switch successor, if we're going to get a whole new console, if they're just going to keep the Switch going forever until eventually it just won't even run stuff well. Well, it already doesn't, but you get my point. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you in the next one.